Hey guys, and welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be putting in an induction kit into my 1 litre EcoBoost Fiesta. It's something I've actually already done, but I've asked for an install video of the ITG, so I'm just going to do the induction hoses as well, and the actual ITG. So yeah, before I get into it, I just want to say that sorry if I haven't been that active on YouTube recently or social media or whatever. That's because my iPhone that I was using is currently knackered, so I'm waiting for the iPhone 10 to come out. In the meantime, I'm having to use this bad boy. It's quite an old phone, but it does the job at the minute. And then for everything else, I'm having to use my iPad, so that's what I've got on the GoPro at the minute, so I can see what I'm doing. And yeah, thanks guys for staying with me. Thanks for carrying on subscribing. I hope you guys are liking the videos. It is getting a bit colder, so I'll probably be wearing more hats in the video, like today. Plus, I also got this comment that you'll be able to see on screen. So, no more hair, or at least no hair today. So yeah, anyway, I'll get straight into it and show you guys what you need to do to get your induction kit installed. Right guys, this is just worth noting that this video is going to be nowhere near perfect, or actually what it's going to be like to take apart the old induction system, because I've had to make some changes putting the new one in, but it's just going to be too much of a hassle to redo them and get that sorted. So hopefully it'll still be informative for you guys. I will show you what you need to do, so don't worry about that. It should still help you out. Obviously this is for the ITG. If you're putting a cone in, like a Forge or Auto Specialist cone in, then it should pretty much be the same sort of steps. Just you might be putting a heat shield in at some point. Because of where it's situated, the ITG doesn't need one because that actually goes underneath the headlight. So basically I've got the engine bay ready. I'm just going to show you guys what I've done and what I'm going to do next, or what you should do next. Right, so as you see, to get to this point, I've taken out the headlight, which would be here. Just unplug it from there. This is the airbox. The airbox does just clip in. It'll be clipped in here, and I believe just somewhere else. It should just pull out, from what I remember. There will also be a thing on here that this sensor goes to. I think it's the MAF sensor, so that monitors your airflow through the system. So that's important. So make sure you keep that clean. That's the connector, or this is, and that would be basically this bit here. What I'm pointing to would be on here. What I'm pointing to now, that bit. I don't know if you guys can see. So basically what you got to do is unscrew it from that one and put it on this one, which is the ITG one. Should just be the same for if you've got a cone in. They should still have this sort of metal bit that you have to put the sensor on, and also that plugs into here in the car. So make sure you keep that safe and keep it out of the way, and also keep this bit safe as well. That's the most important bit. Yeah, this should just pull out. I can't put it back because I've had to do some changes, which I will show you guys in a minute. Probably not the best sort of changes, as I've only done them with cable ties, but I couldn't see any other way about it. So yeah, make sure you keep this bit safe. That's important. I've got that on the ITG ready. Yeah, also there will be some Jubilee clips to undo. Right, so on here there'll be one Jubilee clip. Obviously that's already on my new induction pipe. So this is the same pipe, and that will be going in there. On this pipe there should also be a Jubilee clip on the back here, but obviously I've taken it off and it's on the new pipe. So that once you just unscrew the Jubilee clips, it should just pull off like so. Over this side, this little thing here will be connected into there. That should just pull off and leave that hanging. I've undone this wire, which just plugs into there, just to take it out so I can access this easier, as this standard induction hose is a little bit of a pain, to be honest, because it's got this solid bit on it. So that's a bit of a pain. Anyway, you'll have a Jubilee clip up here, and then you'll have two Jubilee clips down here, and this would connect onto here, which I believe is the turbo. Tiny little thing it is, but it was a bit of a pig to get in, and it's a bit of a pig to take out, so unfortunately for you guys it's going to be a pain. Anyway, once you do undo those Jubilee clips, you're going to have to wiggle it quite a bit. To be honest, the standard pipes aren't that bad, but I'll take the back off first, and then it's getting it off of this, which is going to be the real pain, and then that bit does actually come off that bit. So you'll probably be able to take this pipe off of that and then try and get this bit sort of separately. Obviously, look after all the Jubilee clips because I've used the standard Jubilee clips with the new pipes. So that's one handy thing. But anyway, once you take that off, that's that. And yeah, you're ready to put the new pipes on. So the taking off of the pipes is just a bit of a pain. It's not difficult, it's just a real struggle, especially to get it off of here. I remember struggling for ages, and that's why I haven't put it back on there properly. Make sure you do plug everything back in when you're done, obviously. I'm just going to put that out of the way for now because it will be getting slightly in the way when I try to put this one on. This is the new pipe. I've got JS Performance pipes, and actually it was really good taking them off because I can see on some of them they've got a little bit burnt where they're rubbing against stuff. This one not so bad, but the other induction pipe is a bit worse on some bits, so it's always worth checking and seeing where the hot spots are on your pipes. Obviously you don't want them to get too damaged. And these pipes are a little bit easier to get in, I'd say. It's still a bit of a struggle to get it on to the turbo, but it's really actually not that bad. And then into standard crossover. There we go, and that's on. Then all you need to do then is tighten up your Jubilee clips. I'm going to plug this back in. I will do the other ones up. I'm just going to show you how to install it quickly. Pop that back in, and that's that one. So if you remember how you took out this pipe, you can see that they're pretty much the same shape. If you match them up, you remember how you took this one out, then this one's just going to be simple, just putting it back in. Easy, no problem. I would leave the Jubilee clips loose for this bit though, because you are going to have to wiggle it slightly so you can get the ITG in. It is worth noting as well, on these 1 litre EcoBoosts, I did find, I don't know if you guys can see, there was a black box on sort of this ledge right here where I've got my hand. And basically, when I tried to fit the ITG the first time, it wouldn't actually fit in properly because there was this black box stopping the silicone tube from going low enough. Anyway, what I did have to do is remove this black box. It was cabled in, so I didn't want to remove it completely, but I've actually had to replace it somewhere else, and I'll show you guys quickly if I can. So it was, this black box here was actually sat up here, and to get at it I had to unscrew the washer fluid bottle from underneath of the car, try and unscrew this, and then basically I flipped it over and I've cable tied it down there. It's not the best of fixes, but it means that now I can get the silicone tube in and it fits properly. Whilst I'm here, this came with ITG. It's loosely fixed, and the ITG roughly sits in there. Basically you also get this rubber strip to put over it, but because I've used it there to try and actually washer out these bits because it didn't fit properly, yeah, I've used a cable tie equivalent to go over there, and to be honest it's been fine since I've had it installed. I've had it installed quite a while, and I've taken it around Silverstone, so it's not caused much of a problem at all. So I doubt it will cause much of a problem for you, but if you've got washers so you can pack these screws out to fix this on, then definitely go for that option. Then you'll have this rubber bit that can actually go over, hook on each side and go over the pipe and hold it in place. So yeah, that was my fix. It's probably not the best. One thing I thought I'd show you guys quick is this one does have a couple of burn marks on the back, and it has got a little bit soft where those marks are. So I'm going to have to keep an eye on that and see where they're rubbing up against, and see if I can sort out some sort of heat thing for those areas. Right, so when you've got it in as far as it can go, just drop your Jubilee clips and then plug your sensor back in. Make sure you put that red clip back down. Sorry, to take that out, basically all you have to do is take that red clip up and then you can pull that out quite easily. I'm not going to pull it out again because I don't really want to, I don't really need to. And then when you put it back in, make sure you just put that red clip back down again. That should be fine. Next, this is the ITG hose and filter. See, mine's been used, so it's got a little bit of dirt on it. That's what it does, which is a good thing, so I know it's working. I've already got a couple of Jubilee clips on this. This one is obviously going to go onto the end here. It's going to want to be at that sort of angle. I might have to change it slightly because I've obviously adjusted this slightly, probably putting it back in. But we'll have to see. Anyway, and actually it's a bit of a pain putting it in attached. I'm going to sort of slide that into position to begin with. So it wants to sit down here underneath the headlight, sort of in that place, and it sort of goes over where that box used to be. Your car might not have it. I know someone who had a red edition, which was, I believe it was a 15 plate red edition, and it didn't actually have that box restricting his ITG, and he just managed to put it straight in. Mine's a 64 plate black edition, and it has that box, and I know someone else who also had that box who asked me about the ITG quite a while ago. And I said it was a bit of a pain with it there, but you might have it, you might not. I'm not sure what it is, what it does, but it seems to be sort of pot luck if you've got it or not. Next thing is to slide the ITG, this bit over this bit, or sorry, this bit over this bit. So silicone pipe over the metal bit, and then just again tighten up the Jubilee clips. I've got 2 cable ties going over, 2 because that's gonna give it a bit of strength, and then I've got these 2 little cable tie bits on the end, so I can actually hook it to either side of this mount. And it does take there we go. So now that's pretty secure. It's not really wobbling at all. That's my fix. It's not ideal. I wouldn't do that if you can avoid it. Please do avoid it. But as I said, for now it seems to be working quite well. I've gone around Silverstone with it like that, and I haven't had a problem with anything knocking or coming loose. If you're going for something, if you're going for a filter that you can actually see and looks cool, I wouldn't go for the ITG. I'd go for the Auto Specialist's cone. It'll sit right here, you'll have a heat shield and everything, and it'll look really cool. Obviously the ITG you can't see it because it's tucked underneath the headlight, but in personal opinion, the ITG is the best one for the 1 litre to go for. Definitely best on noise and sound. The noise I get from this thing is absolutely ridiculous, and I'm just using a standard dump valve at the minute. I do plan on getting a Turbo Smart dual port at some point, and maybe get a bit of flutter from the car. So I was just editing that video and realised I didn't actually record any sort of ending. So it's quite an easy install if you don't have to mess around with a few bits. I think getting it ready to fit everything in is the worst part. But anyway, I hope this video has helped you guys. If you do have any problems or you want any more advice, then let me know in the comments. Leave a like, it's always appreciated, and subscribe if you want to see more. I plan on doing some more of this sort of stuff soon. I've got some plans for a lighting video next week, so stay tuned for that. That is very exciting. And yeah, some more videos planned, so stay subscribed, and I will see you guys in the next video.